Exactly, guys. This here is the Bakushin Beelzeb T125XF, an extremely rare bay that cost an arm and a leg to be here in this video, man. There are 5 bays you need to keep in mind that are hard to find from this generation. 4D here, Bakushin Beelzeb, Duo Uranus, Blitz Striker, Jade Jupiter, and Mercury Anubis. These 5 are the hardest bays to have. And this bay is rare precisely because it only comes in a random booster, okay? Random boosters, for those who don't know much, are random boosters where each one can come with a different bay. So you have to rely on luck to see if you get the one you want. And Bakushin Beelzeb literally came in a random booster that had a lot of bays that are hard to find. It was really competitive to find this bay. And Bakushin Beelzeb is one of them. And I managed to get my hands on this monstrous bay firsthand. And we're going to analyze it detail by detail. For those who don't remember, this bay here is an attack type that belongs to... Kaiser is one of the members of the group, also from Urago, one of the villains who make up his squad. And here he has Beelzebub, which is basically a reference to Beelzebub, one of the princes of hell in demonology, who is represented as the fly. And we're going to understand a bit about this visual concept he has related to Beelzebub. But before that, I just want to give you a quick message. If you want to buy Beyblades from the Metal Fight Saga, in general, there's a special link for you in the description, pinned in the comments. And there, man, you'll find several bays like El Drago, Rock Leone, Sagittario. Anyway, lots of bays I've already featured here on the channel, all for a super affordable price. I highly recommend it. It's trustworthy, it's quality. Just click the link below, all right? Anyway, let's go ahead and analyze every detail of this beast, Bakushin Beelzebub. Let's go. All right, I have our parts disassembled here, and of course, let's start with the face bolt. Here we go. Starting with the face bolt, we have this beautiful screw in a purple, kind of gray, translucent color, because it's a gray with a slight hint of purple. Man, I can't really say what color this is, but it's pretty cute, surprisingly enough. But honestly, the coolest detail is this face bolt with this really awesome design here where we have the face of our fly and a little crown. And as I mentioned before, Beelzeb stands for Beelzebub. And for those who aren't familiar with demonology, Beelzebul is one of the princes of hell, and that's why there's this little crown here, as if he were a prince. And the fly is a reference to Beelzebul, since he's depicted as a fly in demonology. That's basically it. So, for those who didn't know, there's a fun fact for you. Anyway, it's really quite an interesting face boost, okay? Right after that, we have this really cool clear here, which is a green clear, kind of a mossy green, maybe. I can't really say what color is this. This one might even deserve a bit of Fanglione, maybe. Man, this clear rail here is really interesting because of its engravings. And one of them is present at these 2 points here. Look, if you hold it like this, you'll be able to see it. Here we have the 2 eyes of the fly, and here its little mouth. So, at this point and this point here, we have the 2 faces of our little fly, which represents Beelzeb. Really cool, right? It's very subtle, but here you have Beelzebub's little face. Beelzebub fire. Now, the rest here in this circular part are just engravings so that the air can flow through, as if they were the wings around Beelzebub. And finally, we have this purple sticker to bring that color palette between green and purple, which I find really interesting. Also, to contrast with the face bolt, really cool, honestly. And well, as you can see, aside from all its really cool details, it's a very circular clear wheel, really circular. And that's strange because it's an attack-type Beyblade, and it doesn't have a visual concept focused on aerodynamics. When you look at this clear wheel, you think of 2 things. Either it's a defense-type Beyblade, or it's a stamina-type Beyblade. But it's actually neither of those. It's an attack type. And where's its aerodynamics so it can move faster, since it's supposed to be an attack type? There isn't any. So, it's something pretty peculiar that you'll understand during the analysis. This Beyblade right here. Right after that, we have our fusion wheel known as Bakushin. This isn't the first time this fusion wheel has appeared. It had appeared before in this little product that I'll be bringing you an unboxing of soon, okay? It's one of the hottest bays to get from the Metal Master Saga, mainly because it comes in this little box. But getting back to our Beelzeb here, this version of Bakushin is actually metallic in color because Susanu's is the white version, okay? And it's an attack fusion wheel. Yes. As incredible as it may seem, it's an attack fusion wheel. When you look at it like this, you think, man, it's not an attack type. This here can't possibly be for attack. Because look at its circumference. It's almost round, man. And usually fusion wheels of this type tend to be for stamina or defense. However, it's more geared towards defense when you look at it this way, conceptually. You can see that it's completely sloped downward. And when you spin it, you see that it's really, really circular. It doesn't have many gaps for its contact points to be for attack. So it looks more like a defense fusion wheel than an attack one. The gaps it has between its defense walls are almost non-existent, man. The only attack point it really has highlighted on this fusion wheel is when we look at it from this perspective. Can you see that at this upper point and this lower point, it has 2 protruding parts sticking out? It's exactly these two protruding parts that when we look at it this way, do you understand what I'm trying to say? They're what generate the attack for this fusion. Wheel. But according to Takara Tomy, it's an attack fusion wheel in my opinion. It's not really for attack, because it's more for defense than attack because of this wall, man. Interesting, right? Interesting. Right after that, we have this track here in a transparent white color, which is actually pretty nice, by the way. And it's a regular track, one we've seen before. Here on the channel, we've already seen it in Rocky Scorpion, which had this track here, and it's meant to cut through the air, giving the Bey a faster aerodynamic profile. And this fits perfectly for Beelzebub, since it's an attack-type Bey, so it needs that aerodynamic feature present in this track. But anyway, it's a basic track that we've seen many times before, and it looks really nice in this translucent white color. Finally, here we have our extreme flat tip, or simply known as XF, which is the tip we've recently seen here on the channel with Mercury Anubis. Yes, it's the same tip with almost the same color, just a bit darker than Anubis's. And it has the same concept. It's the flattest tip possible, which is why it's known as extreme flat. It takes it to the extreme precisely because its head is a bit wider than other tips. Flat. The circumference of the tip's head is a bit larger, which means the friction between the tip and the arena is greater, giving it more speed. Anyway, an interesting tip focused on attack, which is why Bakushin Beelzeb is really an attack type. So let's assemble our Bakushin Beelzeb and see what it's like. To start, let's use our fusion wheel, alright? Then we'll take the clear wheel and fit it onto the top part. Once it's in place, we turn it upside down to attach the track. Then we fit the track into this hexagonal part. All set. Flip it back to the top side, grab the face bolt, and screw it in here, tightening it a bit by hand. And finish it off with a little tool. Don't use too much force so you don't break it. And finally, let's take the tip, fit it here, and also lock it in with the tool. All done. And this is the Bakushin Beelzeb T125XF. It comes from an extremely bizarre attack type, where we have a clear wheel focused on defense and stamina, a fusion wheel that's meant for defense but is said to be for attack, and the lower combo here which is actually for attack. This track here, T125, and the tip are totally used for attack combos, or sometimes even for stamina because of this track, but anyway. Here it's attack. The rest, I don't agree that it's an attack type Bey, no way man. It's kind of weird, but it has its own charm. I think the visual concept is really cool, representing one of the princes of hell, also known as Beelzebub, which is the fly. So they managed to convey that both in the facebolt and in the design of the clear wheel engraving. They created a really interesting contrast with this purple, pink, and green. For those who don't know much about design, here's a fun fact about the color spectrum. Pink is the opposite base of green. So when you're going to make a color combination, even in nature, you see a lot of green with pink, because it's an opposite combination. And at the same time, they're harmonious. And that's used a lot in visual design concepts. Anyway, I really like the visual concept of this beauty, Bakushin Beelzeb, which has a concept focused on, which is a type that's all about attack. Pretty short, by the way. And I want to see how it performs in action. I want to ask you to leave a like and subscribe down below, because that really helps a lot. The channel will get shared more and more with other people, and that way we'll grow even more on YouTube. And become a member. By becoming a member, you help us bring more content about rare items like this one here to the channel, deal? So enough talk, let's test this one out. The Princes of Hell, Bakushin Beelzeb. And let's see if it's really all that. Maybe it'll prove me wrong and say, dude, I'm an attack type, you keep saying I'm defense. Alright Bakushin, show me what you've got, Beelzeb, let's go. Okay guys, let's do this. Let's start the battle test here with our Bakushin Beelzeb, the famous Beelzebub, against BitLinux in its defense mode. With the track lower than mine, I want to test this combination, so let's go. Well, I'll try launching BitLinux first here since it's a balance type, right? Even though it's in defense mode because it's easier. And now our Beelzebub already trying to hit Linux. Yeah, but it's already started. Oh, okay. It paused for a moment to try to hit, but it's already back to the rail. This Bey isn't playing around, it's not here for small talk. It wants to keep fighting there on the rail. It doesn't want to just like keep hitting. It's being strategic, because if it stays here, maybe it'll get lucky and win by stamina, even though it's hard because there's an X-ray flat. BitLinux's wide defense is slightly better, but you never know. You never know. Let's see. Okay. Our man is trying to spin and spin and spin. The two are studying each other. BitLink is already losing traction. It's stumbling. Depending on the attack, it will happen either on the track or underneath the fusion wheel. Beelzeb could win. Oh, the man. Look, there's the man. B of attack beats resistance. That it? There is. Well screwed. B's attack won thanks to its fly-like aerodynamics, dude. Give me a pair. Okay, let's test our 3 signals versus Bakushin Beelzeb, Chris Cygnus in its attack mode, which is one of its strongest modes, against Bakushin Beelzeb in attack mode. So let's go. All right, let's launch Chris Cygnus here and then launch Bakushin Beelzeb. Wow. Wow. Dude. Bro, what was that? What was that? He's literally shutting me up, okay? This is shutting me up. Oh, I'm not really into attacking. Not at all. Yes, I am Bruno Lira. Yes, I am a good attack weapon, but I only have this one and this one here as 2 points of attack, these 2 blades. I can destroy any bay with this. Proven. Chris sent the signs to hell, bro. Absurd. Bakushin B0. Of course, I have to test Diablo Nemesis in its attack mode against Bakushin B0 to see which one is better. Let's see if it can beat its master, right? Since it serves Master Rego, who owns Diablo Nemesis. Let's go. I'm going to launch our Diablo with the attack tip to see how it does. So let's do it. Let's see who gets thrown out of the ring, okay? Bakushin Beelzeb just landed a powerful attack there, taking away Diablo Nemesis' stamina. Both of them are really going at it. Wow, Bakushin Beelzeb is really fast, isn't he? He's pretty sneaky in the arena. Diablo Nemesis, being heavier, went for the center of the arena, but when it comes to stamina, he's gonna lose here, man. He's gonna lose completely. There's no way he won't. Bakushin Beelzeb is going to beat him. The attacks keep coming, draining Diablo Nemesis' energy, and he wins against Diablo in attack mode. Now, I don't know if with a stamina tip he would win. We're going to test that in a bit. Victory for Bakushin Beelzeb. Well, let's see if he's really the big deal. Let's test him against Big Bang Pegasus in its home direction mode, which is one of the favorites, which is obviously an attack type bay. I want to see these two face off. Let's go. All right, let's launch Pegasus first. And now I'll launch Beelzeb. Okay, Beelzeb already went straight for Pegasus. Wow, guys. He was really smart. Of course, I launched him in a way that he would already collide with Pegasus. But like, he hit once and Pegasus came over here. Pegasus kept spinning this way, trying to recover. Bakushin just hit once and sent him out. Victory for Beelzebub. Alright, let's test Death Quetzalcoatl here in its attack mode. I want to do this test precisely because Quetzalcoatl is also kind of wild, spinning around the arena, so it's going to be an interesting matchup. So, let's go. Let's launch Beelzeb first. And now Death Quetzalcoatl. Who's going to do what? With... Quetzalcoatl just hit once, man. Mostly because of what I think is the weight, right? The way the crowns fit together on it. Between the two layers of the 4D system, right? What a hit. He landed, man. Alright, let's do the battle test here with Death Quetzalcoatl in its defense mode. Now, taking on our Beelzebub. Let's go. Last time Death Quetzalcoatl had the advantage, right? Now, let's see if it wins in this defense mode. So, let's launch Quetzalcoatl first this time. And launch Beelzebub. Alright, okay. Both of them are going crazy. Wow. Quetzalcoatl almost landed a fatal attack there, but missed. It missed and hit the arena wall. And then it lost its stamina. It went all in here, man. It hit here and lost its stamina, dude. But that's it. Both of them ended up tied. It's a battle between two maniacs, right? One chasing the other here. Unbelievable victory for our B0. Well, now let's test Chris Cygnus, the defense mode that I really like, against our Bakushin B0. Alright, let's launch Chris Cygnus. Now, in defense mode, maybe it'll do better. Let's see. Okay, really. Beelzeb isn't messing around. It's a bay that just stays on the edge of the arena, man. It's bizarre. Even when I try to launch it centered so it goes down diagonally in the arena, it just can't do it, man. It just stays on the edge. Crazy, man. Really crazy. This is going to be another endurance battle. We'll have to see who comes out on top. Whether it's going to be Cygnus or Bakushin Beelzeb. Last time Beelzebul was the winner, right? Who do you think will win this time? Do you think Cygnus' defense mode makes a difference? We're about to find out. That's what's cool about testing these battles, right? Yeah, but I think in terms of endurance, Beelzeb is going to take it here, man. Because it keeps spinning there thanks to the aerodynamics. By being able to cut through the air, it manages to lose some of the air resistance on it, and that makes it move more freely in the arena. Cygnus loses that because it doesn't have a resistance specifically designed for it. And that's what happens. It ends up like this, look. Victory there. For the man, right? The fly. Well, now let's test Beachland with its attack mode against Bakushin Beelzeb. I'm going to use the tallest tip here. Let's see how it does, shall we? All set. Let's go. So let's launch Linux here. Launch it, and now launch Beelzeb. Okay, Beelzeb is already losing a ton of stamina, spinning on the edge. And Linux over there, man, these battles get me because the bay just stays centered. and the other one over there running away, and it just keeps going like that, instead of meeting and fighting right away. But Linux is already losing stamina. As you can see, it's wobbling. You can tell its spin is different because it's losing stamina. So yeah, it's gonna be a win for the man spying. It's gonna be a win for the man. Yeah, honestly, Beelzeb is just like a fly. It keeps buzzing around, annoying you until you give in. It's literally that, man. Now I get why it's a fly, man. Bakum Beelzeb just circles around, waiting for the other guy to run out of steam. He didn't even really touch him, and now he's just gonna give that mercy tap just to say, I touched him and I won, man. Watch this. 3, 2, 1 now. I missed. Look at that. Just that mediocre little tap, just to say he touched him and go, haha, I won. It's simply a victory for Bakushin, my friend. Well, now I want to test out the big guy here, right? Diablo Nevs in that endurance mode of his with the tip locked, kind of automatic against our Beelzebub. Let's go. All right, let's launch Diablo Nemesis here, and now let's launch Belzer. Go! And he hits there, crashed into Diablo Nemesis, landed a really strong hit, huh? And even so, the big guy is still wild there on the edge of the arena. No way, this guy likes it, man. He really does. He's really made to stay like that because of his tip. X3 flat, it's just like Anubis, I know that, right? It's the same tip. But, let's be honest, I find it really annoying to face bays like this, man. That's just the way they fight, right? It's like a little fly that just goes zzz in the bay's ear until it loses. But here, the situation is different. Diablo Nemesis, maybe because of its weight, might win here. Or maybe not, because it's already wobbling, since the hit was strong enough to destabilize it. Diablo Nemesis is losing stamina, it's wobbling, and the man is going to win. The man is going to win. The man is going to win! The bay is literally a rat. It's a fly, this bay, man. Well, now I want to test our Pegasus here, our mode. Upper attack against Beelzebub. Let's go. Alright, I'm going to launch Beelzebub, and now I'll launch Pegasus at Beelzebub. Whoa! Okay, it gave a little tap on Pegasus, and it stabilized themselves. Both of them almost went out, right? Both of them almost went out. All right, Pegasus took the center. Beelzeb is already on the edge, his usual pattern that we're used to. And another battle that's going to come down to stamina, but let's see if Pegasus activates its final drive. Let's go. Will it work? Will the man pull it off? Will Pegasus, the winged horse, defeat the little hellish fly? We'll see now. We'll see now. Okay. Let's see. Who will win, guys? Who do you think will win this battle, guys? I think with these hits, maybe Pegasus will take it, huh? Oh, it activated! The final drive activated, and Pegasus! He said, no, not at all. Not with me, you little hellish fly. And Pegasus with final drive came back to win. Just as I said, it beat the Beelzebub fly. Well, guys, these were the battle tests for Bakushin Beelzebub. One of the most interesting bays I've brought to the channel because of its movement pattern, which really matches what it's supposed to be, a fly, right? So it just stays there, buzzing around the other bay's ear. Really cool, honestly. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time with another video. We're in this together, and let it rip.